Radio. So we're from the Green Team. So I want you all to just put yourselves in the current story. You're at Melbourne Airport. You've just found out that your flight has been cancelled and you've got a 3.5-hour layover. What do? You just go sit down, you might grab a coffee, whatever the case may be. You pull out your phone and out comes a little letter and then you SMS in and saying, in the airport, stuck, looking to meet, whatever. You then find someone else. Through that, you sort of connect in, and then someone else is within your same location, so within the airport, who has a similar amount of time, perhaps an hour, perhaps 2 hours, whatever, might say, yeah, cool, I'm interested to talk about what you just said. So maybe you've said, oh, I'm interested to talk about business, I'm interested to talk about the book I'm reading, whatever the case may be. Someone says, yeah, sure, that sounds like a good plan for an hour. So in the end, all that took was for you to build up a bit of pluck.com. So the idea is, our business name is A Bit of Pluck. For all those times when you're in a location-centered based system that's run through SMS, where you can easily upload your information about what you're interested in and talking about and when to a system that's location-based, which will then find people in that same location and point them and set up a meeting for the two of you. So it could be that guy sitting on the couch who's the business major, suddenly now is chatting to you because you've had a bit of pluck. It could be the leggy blonde that's over in the corner of the bar that you didn't really quite know how to approach, but by using a bit of pluck, you got to be able to talk to her. It could be when you're at the university studying, you think, shit, I just need a break, I need a lunch. That guy over there, I keep meaning to talk to him, but I can't quite do it. But if I just had a bit of pluck, I might be able to go and work. So that's our whole concept, essentially providing people a bit of pluck to go out and meet the people they want to chat to. Any questions?
What's the domain name?
A Bit of Pluck. Any questions on that? Would you like me to spell it?
How close is the S key to the P key?
That's going to be that's our next revenue stream. A little bit of.
But you mentioned that you'd SMS in a code.
No, not a so we're still working at the bugs, but essentially you'll there'll be a prototype. But essentially you'll SMS in the type of, because it's location based, the number that you'll SMS into will actually be location centric. So if you're at Melbourne Airport, this is the way we're going to prototype it. There'll be a number for the Melbourne Airport, and you just message in, and that takes care.
So how would I get that number?
There'll be advertising, there'll be signs up.
Question, what's the extension into GPS specification?
Wow, I'm glad you asked. So our next generation service is once GPS technology is wide enough and is well enough adopted across the market, we'll be able to automatically find you based on your GPS and connect you with other people with your like interests based on that location. So it won't be location held.
I can add to that this entire framework is being developed to do exactly that. So we can just use those frameworks. We don't have to develop things like Places.net, and Google is also working on something like that with their gears. So, yeah.
We also have a well-defined exit strategy, and they'll be building towards selling potentially to one of these locations, or that's our first and primary revenue stream.
Yeah. Don't tell me your first customer is you?
Our first customer will actually, I'm glad you asked about the first customer. The way that we're going to start building our user base is actually searching through Twitter search, people who are saying, I'm stuck at the airport, or I'm stuck in location, or I'm studying at uni. Pretty easy to do that. Once we find the key user bases, then we'll actually start being able to build people that are using the service in locations. So therefore our first customers actually are already talking about it through Twitter search.
So with that in mind, how is it different to Twinkle?
So you'll have to educate me on what Twinkle is.
Twinkle is it's an iPhone app that's Twitter-based but also location-based. So I can see how many people are within 1 kilometre of the Twittering.
Cool. I suppose the way that we do that differently, or the way we compete with a service like that, is that by using a bit of pluck, you can actually meet people that you've never met before that you don't have through a friend of a friend application.
Well, I've been using your service for about 3 months now. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I got this problem. This one person I met just keeps on fucking following me.
That's a great question, but again, the idea is that a bit of pluck is very location based. So if you do meet a complete arse, you can just leave the location. So, oh look, my plane's ready, and off you go and walk out. A bit of pluck changes depending on who is in that location at that time. It's not social network based, it's location based.
Just on the model, and the one thing that sold me on it was that ultimately when you get to when it's more mature is that you actually have that semantic data matching where hopefully you don't end up getting, you know, an ugly whatever, and you end up meeting a Megan Gale, for example. So, you know, there are always going to be errors, but you want to build a model where you actually meet people who actually share your interests, and you can actually stand to have a conversation with, or have a meal with, or meet with an airport. So it may not be in what we did this weekend, but it certainly is the longer term goal of the business model.
So they don't get my phone number?
No, it's all pushed through.
Sorry, Steve, are you Steve Hopkins?
Yes.
Yeah, I just had a Twitter collision with one of my friends. He was like, whoa, you both, you know.
Really?
We just both tweeted and he
about?
went, well, you guys don't know each other and you're tweeting about the same thing at the same time.
That's a stress. Because I just tweeted and I thought, I literally just tweeted and saw Michael that he hates the name. And I go, damn it!
Alright, thanks Steve.
Alright, thank you everyone.